24/7. 24/7.
Bold Moves Radio.
Bold Moves Radio.
Afrika nakupenda sana. Oh, Afrika nakupenda sana.
You are listening to Bold Moves Radio. The show is Prudent Woman with myself. I'm Rhulani Baloyi. I am your host. Thank you very much for joining us. As always, we come to you every Sunday, 4 o'clock up until 5 o'clock. This is Prudent Woman. Thanks to all of you who are joining us via the radio. You are welcome to be part of this conversation. Send through your comments, your questions on 081 358 8745. 081-358-8745. And all of you who are joining us via the YouTube page, you are welcome. You know, you can be part of this conversation via making comments on the comments section. And this conversation can never be a conversation unless you are part of it. And thank you very much for joining us. This is Prudent Woman. As always, I'm not alone today. I have with me a wonderful woman, Sophie Tshivengwa, our sister, who is going to talk to us about something that, you know, for the longest time as human beings, we tend to avoid. But unfortunately, we all at some point will go through it because that is what is appointed unto men, that there will be that time where you pass on. So this afternoon, we are talking to Sophie Tshivengwa. She is going to talk to us through her experience in life, losing a loved one, how she went about coping with such a grief. As women, you know, we always say in Prudent Woman, we need to take intentional decisions and be intentional about our actions. And we agree that we bring light and we're the salt of the earth. And you can only do that when you are informed. So this afternoon we have Sophie Tshivengwa. Sophie, thank you very much. It's a wonderful thing. We know it's not easy for a person to say, I've gone through this pain and I'm ready to use my experience to help other people who may be going through the same experience. Thank you so much for opening your heart, for opening up your life and wanting to share with us. We do not take it light, but we understand where it comes from. And we'd like to say thank you. We know indeed we shall overcome by the word of others' testimony. Welcome to Bold Moves Radio. And this is Prudent Woman. As you greet the audience, please be free. Let us know who is this wonderful woman who is in the studio this afternoon.
Thank you so much, Rhulani, for welcoming me on your studio. I feel so honored. Thank you very much. I'm not taking this light, really. Yeah, you honored me. Thank you very much. To the viewers all over the world, my name is Sophie Tshivengwa, the wife for Mushavi. Most of the people, they used to call him Mushavi. So even myself, I get used to that title. People, they call me Mfumakazi wa Mshavi, the one and only Mfumakazi wa Mshavi. I'm a mother of 3 beautiful kids. Yo, what else can I say? I think some of the things will get them on the way, but for now, just get my name and I'm Mfumakazi wa Mshavi and my 3 kids. And thank you so much and continue listening to us. Thank you, Rhulani.
Thank you, Sophie. You know, this woman, she's so humble. I'm surprised why she's saying this is all that she can say, but I understand. We have this woman this afternoon to come and talk to her about the experience that she went through when she lost her partner. And I would like to invite all of you. I know someone may be sitting back home and saying, I've gone through it, or I'm still going through it. And I would like to invite all of us to say, you may not have gone through it. It's something we do not want to think about, but it happens. That is what life is all about. All of us at some point, one way or another, we shall truly go through it. And as Prudent Woman, as Bold Moves Radio this afternoon, we are bringing this episode to all of us and say, let's have this conversation. It's not a simple conversation. It's not something we're planning, but it's something that we're saying, let us be intentional around it. Let us be informed what these people when someone is in that position, what they go through, and how can I make their life much more bearable. We say in Prudent Woman, we want to make sure that we enhance the quality of life. So even when you go through that pain, the pain can be made lighter when you have prudent women who are surrounding you. Thank you very much. And I see we have women who have joined us this afternoon, and I invite you, let us be part of the conversation. Sophie, we are meeting here to talk about your loss. I would like us to start by you telling us the circumstances of the loss of your loved one.
Thank you so much, Sis Rhulani. Being a prudent woman is not easy. Hey, it's not. It's not. I won't lie to you. Um, the circumstances. Remember, it doesn't come first with circumstances. It comes first with what you are seeing almost every day, looking to the person you love, looking to that person that, oh God, really, is this gonna happen? In my case, it was very difficult because I've been warned by the doctors. So I cannot say you prepare yourself. There's nothing that preparation in this journey. Believe you me, there's nothing. But the circumstances that you face in the first of all, first thing that comes to your mind is, remember, now I'm gonna change my title. I'm no longer gonna be Mrs. Tshivengwa. I'm going to be a widow. That thing only, it will frustrate you almost every day. Looking at the person that you love, he's sick. It was not easy at all. So when it happened, that circumstances and that surroundings by that time, you feel like, but how? Where must I go now? Because you find that even the people that you used to love most, people that they were very close to you, they are nowhere to be found. Only few people, only few, believe you me. For now, I've got sisters that I can count on, but the rest, they are nowhere to be found. I've got one sister that almost every day when I pray, I keep on saying, God, please bless her more so that she can keep on being a blessing to other people. Because I realized that she stood with me through thick and thin, from the funeral preparations, from the burial, from, even now she's still there. She's telling me every day, say, Sophie, mwana wa miyanga, mwana wa ma, I trust you, you can do this. But it's not easy. The frustration surrounding that the word only grief, widow, it's finished. It's finished. When people, they start to see you, they see you, this woman who don't have a husband anymore. Friends, they run away. When people, they look at you, they see these people who can snatch their husband, their husband. And believe you me, it's not, we don't choose. We don't choose. And these circumstances, it makes you being so frustrated. You only grow strength from your kids, from the family members. Like I said, from one of my sister that I love so much. Though I cannot tell her every day that I love her, but she knows. Once I started to say "Mwana wa ma," she knows who I'm talking about. She knows that very well. So the circumstances, my sister, the frustration, the name widow itself, it frustrates you worse. Because people, they tend to put you, they give you names. They give you names. And remember, I didn't choose for Mushabi to be called to heaven. I didn't choose that. It happened. And when it happened, people, they turn their back onto you. They think that this one, we cannot socialize with her anymore. And it's so painful.
So as you say it, you said it's you. I think all these experiences you had was because you were warned. Would you have rather, do you think it would have been lighter when you do not know, or looking at the circumstances? Because I know someone may be there. I see someone saying, mine it was just an accident. I was not warned. Is there a difference with what you have experienced? Do you think there's a difference?
Says Rhulani, there's no different.
So you can never
Losing
be warned.
whether they warned you 7-9 months down the line, whether it happened like now. My sister, there's nothing that is say I know at least
Can't be ready.
you can't be ready. Every day for me, I was looking for somebody who's gonna recover. When I go to the hospital, I will see that person who's recovering and coming back home. I would have all the wishes, dreams, and everything. But believe you me, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Whether you've been warned, they told you, they will sit down with you, the psychologist, the psychiatric, and whatsoever. Believe you me, it never works. It never works. It never works. It depends on how are you accepting it yourself. It depends on one, because grief, to be honest, is total different thing. It's something that you never went to school to graduate for it. You as much as we have got degrees, doctorate, and everything, but with grief is something else. It's something else, because myself, I'm grieving differently. You grieve differently. Our sisters outside, they're different. They grieve differently. One of my sisters said to me, "You know what, sister? I pegged the grief aside, and I decided to move on with my life." I said, "What are you talking about?" Said, "For me, I realized that even if I can grieve, even if I cry, but I'm not gonna change these situations. I will still see it back and said, by the way, I lost him. So the best way is to pack it and move on with my life." I said, "Oh, to God be the glory. At least God grant you that strength, my sister, to pack everything and focus on your life." But for me, it's totally different. I'm still grieving. Every day I still have got these questions. God, how? What is it that I did wrong to you? At my age, I'm so very young. We still have got all dreams, visions, plans for our kids. Who am I going to carry these visions with? Because now I'm alone. Meaning, all these plans, dreams, visions, they are on my shoulders alone. Remember, I'm a housewife, executive housewife. And how can you become a carrier of all those loads? It was not an easy thing, but through God, through this man above, believe you me, we are more than a conquerors. Believe you me, he's a greater person that he can carry you through. Whether you're going through it like an accident, whether you've been sick or what, but believe you me, if you carry this Jesus along, he will see you through, because the Bible says the greater is he that is in you than the one that is ruling in the world. Because the one who is in the world is not powerful, the one that is above. No. But my sisters, take courage. If it happened like that, take courage. Let's move on. Let's continue.
You are bringing in something which I think is very important for our listeners and our viewers to understand. You've said something that's very important to say. It's unique and it can never be the same. So even when we have this talk, one should understand that how they are experiencing their grief, or how their loved one is experiencing their grief, will not be the same as you. So it's not a one size fits all. It's unique to an individual. But what's important with this show, we are saying we want to talk about it and bring her life into perspective, just to be able to highlight, to say this is real and other people are going through. But when you are informed about something, you are able to take a step and be able to think and process it in yourself to know how I should overcome than to avoid something. So we would like to go on an ad break. When we come back, say, Sophie, I want us now to move in something that is, most especially in us, people of color, becomes a burden, the actual funeral. Because I know for most widows, when we read, that's the season, the phase that they face a lot of hardships. And I would like to for you to talk us through, using your life to talk to the women, all of us, even when we have not yet gone through it, because it may be coming our way, just for us to be able to understand how other people have gone through it. Let us go on an ad break. We'll be right back with you.
Are you ready for the ultimate dietary powerhouse? Look no further than Masana Dietitian's Nutro Boost. Our scientifically formulated low GI food is designed to give you the boost you need to fuel your body and reach your health goals. With NutriBoost, you have the flexibility to enjoy it as a high-fiber cereal or a satisfying shake. Simply mix it with water and indulge in the mouth-watering flavors that we have to offer. But that's not all. NutriBoost is packed with essential nutrients that are beneficial for your overall well-being. Enriched with 20 immune-boosting vitamins and minerals, it's a convenient and effective way to support your immune system. And here's the best part. NutriBoost is gluten-free, egg-free, and high in omega-3, making it suitable for those with dietary restrictions or allergies. Need an energy boost? NutriBoost has you covered. It's high in energy and protein, providing you with the fuel you need to power through your day. Whether it's a busy morning or an intense workout session, say goodbye to midday slumps and hello to sustained energy with NutriBoost. Try it today and experience the difference. For orders or to become a distributor, contact us on the following details.
You are listening to Bold Moves Radio. The show is Prudent Woman with myself. I'm Rhulani Baloyi. I am your host. I'm not alone this afternoon. I have a wonderful woman. This is Sophie Tshivengwa. She's here talking to us about how she went about coping with the loss of her loved one. Before we went on a net break, Sophie shared with us what she went through when her loved one was called to go back by the Creator. And as we continue, says Sophie, you know, as Black people, once there is such a tragedy in the family, the first thing that we go through is to think about the funeral, the actual day, the event, leading from that minute, leading to that actual day. And I know there are lots of expectations, especially for a woman. What would you like to say to prudent women about that phase?
Thank you so much, Rhulani. I told you that being a prudent woman is not easy, hey? You want everything to go accordingly and in a good way. But believe you me, on that time, you never think of how much you're going to spend. The only question that is in your mind is, how am I going to do this? But things that helps me a lot, it's planning prior. As ladies, let us have plans. It can be the funeral policies, it can be the funeral covers. Yes, we don't plan that when we die, things they will go like this. But those things, they help me a lot. And having a good communication with your loved ones, it helps a lot. Because when something like this happens, you know, okay, I'm no longer thinking of how much am I going to use on the coffin. My question now is, how am I going to do this?
Yes.
And who's going to assist me? Because by that time, you're like somebody who has got a leper in your body. No one wants to come closer to you. I'm talking about even your in-laws. I'm talking about even your best friend. They will feel like, if we come closer to her, we'll get that leprous. And by that time, you really need them.
Yeah.
For me, it was tough because I never dreamed myself of burying my husband. For me, going to the choosing of the coffin and, you know, the tombstone and everything, I said, God, yeah. When Jesus said, this thing must pass, he saw it was heavy. I just went back to my kids, my 3 beautiful kids, and said, I think this is your task. And believe you me, it helps me a lot because those kids, they were having a lot of plans in their minds, and it helps them also to move forward to say, oh, mommy's involving us, which means we're part and parcel of this. Yeah. So when they went to choose, I went with them to say, okay, you want me to assist you? Yes, we choose the coffin, we choose the tombstone, but it was not an easy thing. The money that they needed, it was too much, and we did not have it. But through communication, through planning, through touching the important people in our lives, it makes my life so easier. Because at the end of the day, the memorial was done, and you know that African, when they do even the memorial, they want to eat.
Yeah.
We don't talk about the coffin only here. We talk about even people, they want to eat. They want to see you so beautiful. I'll still go back and say thank you so much, Mwanawama. She dressed me so beautiful. So my kids, they were so beautiful on that day, from the memorial service to the funeral. Those are the things that, to me, they were out of my mind. I was saying,
you can't be thinking of them.
I told her, she asked me, Mama, do you have a dress? Do you have anything in mind? I said, Sissy, what I want is just to bury this man and be free. That's all that I want. She said, no, Mama, we cannot do that. Remember, I'm talking about somebody who has got dignity. I'm talking about somebody who was having their status in this world. My husband was a big somebody in one of the companies. So you can imagine if Madame was coming like wearing these kind of dresses, what would the world will be saying? But because I was having this Bongwana and our sisters that was there for me, things went well. Choosing the coffin was it was good. Tombstone, everything was arranged very well. But remember, we have got in-laws here that you must come back and you report. When you report, they will look at that side. Hey, Jesus Christ. You tend to ask yourself, did I say anything wrong here? They said, whatever that we want to do, Makoti. When you wake up in the morning, somebody is coming with flyers, papers to say, Makoti, we chose this kind of...
And you reported something yesterday.
Sister, Rhulani, you know what, that moment, I think God make it for us to know what kind of people are we living in this world, within this world. Because some people, they will smile, you will see their teeth. Those people, they don't love us. Some of them, they're just coming in because, what can we do? We have to be there. I mean, she's our in-law, so our daughter-in-law, so we have to be there. But to be honest with you, to myself, I never even see a black cent from them. Everything that I spent on my husband's funeral, it was from our father that I won't mention the name. He knows himself very well. And the sisters that were there for me.
You are mentioning, I'll say about 3 things that I'm picking up. To have a plan that this type of things will happen. And most of us, because we never go to school for life, we do life as we continue. And that's why programs like this, where we have willing people to come and share their experience, become very important. We never think of it, but it's very important to plan, to know that this day will come.
Yes.
And be ready. The second thing that I'm hearing is to have those people around you. I once had one great woman saying, in life, you must have the 6 people. Even if things do not go well, but the 6 people to carry your coffin,
yes,
you must have them.
Yeah.
You must know where to go. So it says to have those ones. And also to remember that you have got children. They may be young, but if they are at an age of understanding issues of life, it becomes very important when you involve them.
But says Rhulani, at that moment, you don't think of anything. You don't think of anything. Yeah. For me to think of to think of them, it was when I was busy writing. Okay, for coffee, maybe I can spend this much. And my son, Freddie Jr., came in to say, Mommy, what are you writing? And you are crying. That's when I said, Freddie, maybe you can assist, boy. I want at least something better for your father. And he said, Mommy, that one, no,
I will do it.
I'm going to do it. You don't think of anything, says Rhulani. The kids, you will think of them after the funeral. Yes. Whether your kids, they ate or they didn't eat, can you believe that by that time you don't even feel hungry?
Yes.
Whether you bath or you didn't bath, you don't even remember.
So That's why you need those 6 people, says Sophie,
To
because
carry your
should
coffin.
you not have them,
I'm telling you.
you can appear before people for a funeral and you have not bathed. And later in life, you look back at the videos and you're like, I should have done better.
What did I say to you, says Rhulani? I
Yeah.
said, this Mwanawama,
Yeah.
from first day, she asked me, who is going to dress you? And I said, Mwanawama, don't worry. I've got black dresses in the wardrobe. Remember, my kids now, they are not on the party.
Yes.
I never think even of my kids. What are they going to wear?
What are they gonna wear? And everyone is going to be looking at them.
I'm telling you, these 6 people that says Rhulani is talking about, we really need them. Because, today I'm laughing, but not because I'm happy. I'm laughing because I know that these 6 people that they're talking about, at least I saw them
coming through.
I'm telling you, we had a brother, my brother-in-law, Moses. I won't mention your surname, but you know yourself.
I love it when you bring an in-law, when you say also your brother-in-law, because you've just said with your in-laws, it seemed somehow they will say, sitting, looking at you, you can do what you want. When you tell, they go and arrange their own.
Thank
thing.
you.
I always say something which I learned from one of my mothers when she was going around ministering to other people who were going through grief, to say, one thing that's very important is to understand when someone passes on in this world, they had different relationships. Your in-laws have lost a son. You have lost a husband. And grief has got its way of making both of you, the enemy brings this wedge.
Yes.
Makes me, having lost a husband, feel maybe it's that overwhelming experience and the pain. It makes you think the other ones, no one feels the pain than you. And the other ones feels a husband can be replaced. We cannot replace a son. So I've realized that when there's a death, the enemy tends to use that to come in by making the 2 parties to overlook the other one's grief. What's important I've learned is always to remember, I've lost a husband, they've lost their son. Once you remember that, both of you have lost someone. That is how life is. We have both lost someone. But you need to be intentional. And that's where Prudent Woman, we coming in. We say you need to be intentional about your actions. It's very important.
Yeah.
So when you are intentional, you take decisions which are informed. Then you are able to recognize that your in-laws have lost a son.
Yeah.
Your in-laws have lost a daughter. You see, once you are intentional, and I see you were able to accept them. That's why you are saying you had a brother-in-law who came in, because he came in and he was there for you.
Yes.
He became part of the 6 people.
Yeah.
So, Prudent women, let us ask ourselves wherever we are to say, what role will I play to my sister? Should she go through what says Sophie is telling us this afternoon? Do you play your role, or you get in and become more of the confusion? Because what's important is to carry the burden, I believe.
Yeah.
That's what you are saying. Wanamma carried the burden.
She did.
She played.
She's still even carrying it even today.
And that's very important.
Yeah.
In life, when we say we bring the light, it's when you do something like that.
Yeah.
Because she was able to bring light.
Yeah, that's
and
very
this
true.
afternoon, I would like us to say, thank you, Wanamma, for having done what you did to this woman. Because we never know. At times, grief can take a person away when they do not have someone to play the role that she played in their life.
Yeah, that's very
it's
true.
very important for us to acknowledge that. So says Sophie, now the funeral is over, in our culture. And that phase, I know, as you said, it comes with a lot of responsibility, financial burdens. And at times, it can make one to be destroyed for good.
Yeah.
Because the expectations that you have to meet are way above what you can carry.
Yeah.
How do you now stand up and carry your life forward. What will you like to say after the funeral? How do you now start and say, I'm living my life, but Mushabi is no more? How do I move?
Before I answer that one, let me go back a bit on the in-laws that are losing the son and me being losing a husband. My sister, if us African people, we accept one another to say, this is my daughter.
Yes.
This is my son. Like if it was me who passed on, I believe that my families, they will be there from day one until, being supportive.
Yes.
So I want to bring this to our African families to say, let us have this mentality, or let us change in a way that even if my husband passed on, I mustn't be treated like an outsider.
Yeah.
Why am I becoming an outsider after my husband passed on? While my husband was still alive, I was an angel to them.
Yes.
But immediately when he passed on, I'm a witch. I killed him. And there's a lot of names that being attached to us as ladies who lost their husband. But if African people, we changed and we see things in a good way, this life, it will never be the same again. And this life, it will never be like the way it is now. Because this norm, it's like it's carrying on and on and on. If you remember what happened to who's this guy in Zimbabwe? Oliver Mtukuzi's wife. If that is not a story.
It's real.
That is not a story for Oliver Mtukuzi's wife. I'm telling you, that kind of life is still even continuing even now in 2024. So, Mina, I'm begging our African people, especially us ladies now that we have got sons that are growing up, soon they're going to get married and everything. Let's accept their wives as our own.
Yes.
Because if we don't do that, that's when we are going to have a problem. She will come and report, and then the following day, you are going to do something different. And when she asked, why are you doing this? It's because we want to bury our son the way. He said, but I'm the wife, and I've got the right to do the way I want it with my kids because I've got all the rights. And once you started saying that, what are they going to say? Oh, now she wants to bring the law. Now she wants to be seen as, the most important person here. And it's not like that. It's because of, I would want something good for my husband. Yes, you want something good for your son. But what about me? Yes. We sit, we talk, we planned this thing with my husband to say, one day, Lala, I will go. My love, one day I will go. And if I go, please plan this. Please have this in mind. So I think they must just leave us in peace and arrange our husband's funerals. Please. Now let's go to the question. What was the question?
And what you were saying is very important, Sis Sophie, because we may be young today, raising young kids, but sooner or later they will grow up.
Yeah, that's very true.
So it's very important. We should change the narrative.
We have to definitely.
We cannot continue with how things are.
Yeah.
Especially when you look at the setup of today.
Yeah.
Life demands things differently to what it demanded decades ago. So it's very important. The burden that is placed on widows, it's unfair. Especially when you look at the fact that today we are not making a living out of maybe farming alone, but you need money is the main important thing. Yeah, and a widow who is placed under a lot of pressure with such expectations, wanting to spend the son's money, all of it, it's unfair.
Yeah.
Because you are even forgetting that the son has left children.
After the funeral, says Rhulani, after the funeral, they can even come to you and say, we need money. For what you don't even know. And it's like that son of them put something back that side to say, you give it to them when I'm gone. This kind of life, man, let's change. Let's change. I'm praying every day to say, I don't want to be like other African women when my son got married. Yes. I pray every day that I want to accept my daughter-in-law like my own. I used to tell my son Freddie that, the day you bring a lady in my house, that's the day I'm going to say, Freddie, you are no longer going to see my call. My call will be only, how are you, Papa? Are you good? But the rest of the thing, believe you me, son, I'm going to be having a friend that you brought into my life.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's very true. I would like us to go on a break. I told you, this woman was saying, no, you'll hear everything as we continue. And I don't want us to have time running away from us without us getting to other things about her life.
Yeah.
So I would like us to go on an ad break. When we come back, you mentioned something very important about money afterwards. I would like us to talk about the estate of your beloved, more especially because most of us women, because of the experience that you'll have gone through, it's easier to turn a blind eye and not want to do anything with the estate and say it will sort itself out. And it doesn't.
It
Nothing
doesn't.
goes away.
It doesn't
I
at
want
all.
us to talk about that. Let us go on and break.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is.
Streaming 24/7. 24/7.
Bold Moves Radio.
Bold Moves Radio.
Afrika nakupenda sana, oh Afrika nakupenda sana.
You are listening to Bold Moves Radio. The show is Prudent Woman with myself. I'm Rhulani Baloyi. As always, we come to you every Sunday from 4 o'clock up until 5 o'clock. This afternoon, we are talking to Sophie Tshivengwa. She's sharing her life about how she went about coping after she lost her loved one. So this afternoon, we are listening to this wonderful woman sharing her life with us so that we can learn. Before we went on an ad break, Sophie was taking us through how she went about and the challenges that she went through after she lost her partner. Sophie, before we went on an ad break, you said a mouthful, you know? And what we got was that it's a challenging season when a woman loses her husband. And we also realize that those hardships may be the reason that makes most women not want to do anything about the estates.
That's very true.
And it's not their husband's estate, it's their estate. That is the sad thing, because when your partner passes on, their estate is joined with yours. And you need to deal with it because you need to declare to the powers that be, the authorities, to say, this one is no more.
Yeah.
Now I'm the one standing. And at times there are things that one who has passed on may have instructed to say, when I'm no more, the law must take place in this fashion. These are my wishes. But we know in terms of our culture, most of the time we do not have that in place. And someone has to make such decisions. And it's said that most women, because of the hardships that they will have been faced with, either when the partner was sick, when they passed on during the funeral, they're put under a lot of pressure and they say, I'm closing up. And that's where we see children suffering, because you get those who are shrewd and go to the master and declare themselves to be the ones to take care of the estate.
That's very
and you
true.
find things are a mess by the time you wake up. And we're saying, as prudent women, one, it's important to grieve, but it's also important to acknowledge that there is life after that episode. You need to move forward, and you cannot do things at the disadvantage of your children. We'd like to hear from you how you went about that phase of making sure that the estate is rounded up and things are settled so that you and your children can focus on the life ahead.
Rhulani, thank you very much for this question. Hey. With this one, it's a special thing, because you have to understand who is this person first. First of all, you have to go back to your drawing board. Remember when you met, being a husband and wife, there's a lot of things that we joined together. You came in with your visions, you came in with your dreams and everything. Now somebody is no longer there. Meaning some of the things it means they are, you have to close, you have to forget about them.
Yes.
So I said when we started, this journey, it's not like other journeys. We never go to school for this journey. But believe you me, ladies outside there, here you have to pack everything and you revisit, who is this woman? And what is it that you want? And where do you want to see yourself? Immediately you discover that this is Sophie and I have got lots of dreams. Then you will remember, one of the dream is I don't want to see my children and myself suffering. That's when the estate comes in. That's where the policies and everything started to ring in your mind. By the way, we've got a funeral cover policy and I never claimed that. So having the estate, it's very, very, very much crucial. Myself, how I did it. Luckily, I was having a lawyer on my side, that she was always there for us. Thank you so much, Tshivengwa, for the good job that you did. I wish everyone will ask me who's this woman that she did so well to me. So what she did, she gave me 2 months of crying, because that's what she used to say. She would call and said, are you still crying? I said, Tshivengwa, yes, I'm crying. She said, okay, I'll call you next week. So she gave me 2 months. Remember, I buried my husband on the 23rd of December. It was Christmas, it was New Year. No food for the kids, no clothes, meaning everything is stuck. Yes. So when she stopped calling me for that 2 months, and then she started calling me on the 3rd month to say, now we must start. I asked her, what is it?
You can't cry forever.
She told me that, she said, you are not going to cry forever, because crying or not crying is not going to bring the money and take the children to school. I said, by the way, the kids, they must go to school. She said, yes, and we have to start. For that only, there was something like a button to me to say, stand up, Sophie, stand up. Now you have to see your kids going to school. Now you have to see your kids smiling again, whether daddy's there or not, but these kids, they must smile. My lawyer was there for me. We started with the estate thing. I didn't even know that we have got some houses somewhere. I did not even know that we have got some, some farms, there was a lot of stuff that was coming to my surprise to say, even this. Lucky. One thing that I used to say, I'm so grateful of my husband. I never come across any surprise of the child. That only, it makes me in a good heart to say, thank God. At least there was no one who's claiming something. But the estate issue, if you don't have a lawyer, there's no way that you can do that. You need a lawyer who knows their story. Because if you don't know their story, Rhulani always, she mentioned something to say, you will find that somebody already went to high court, master court, and what. And when you go there, they will say, already, somebody was here. It happened. It happened. That's why I was laughing when you talk. It happened to me. When my lawyer started to do all this, remember we stayed 2 months. My lawyer got
crying time.
Yes, my crying time, as my lawyer said. When she went there, she did everything, application and everything. To my surprise, we got a letter to say, no, man, there was somebody who has already did that. Do you know this person? I said, yes, I know them. Lucky my lawyer was there for me. She did everything. So ladies, if something like this happened to you, make sure that you appoint a lawyer, a trustworthy lawyer. Outside here, we've got people that they can just come and take your things and run away. But mine, to be honest with you, she did a big job. My estate now, it's almost 3 years now when I lost my husband. My estate now, it's I think it's on the last stage. It's on the last stage now. My kids, they're going to school. My kids, they get money every month because she did her part. Yes. It was not an easy thing for me, because they would want you to come to the high court. Poor Sophie, you don't even know what to do. When you go there, you find people, they're sitting, do you know these people? Yes, I know them. And why are they here? Why did they call them with me? They said, no, they are part of the estate.
And so Sophie, that's why programs like Prudent Woman is here. Those who are following us, they will attest to what I'm about to say. We have financial advisors who have come here. We had lady lawyers who came through here, and they've always been advising us how important it is to put your house in order and for you to have a little bit of knowledge on what is to happen. Because when you do not know something, you cannot act on it.
You can't.
Because how will you act on something that you do not know?
Yeah.
And I would like to say to all the prudent women this afternoon, listening to say Sophie, it says go back to that session. You remember our legal professionals who were here on the platform talking on the different estates? And I'm grateful that next week we still have one woman who is coming wanting to talk to us about administration of deceased estates. So some of these things that Sophie is mentioning, of course, today we're just focusing on her life, and she's not a professional in that field, but she's sharing with us how frustrating it was. I invite you, be part of such sessions. Empower yourself. It's very important to be a prudent woman. It doesn't only cost you. You can be angry and say, I want nothing. But remember, you've got children, and you're not doing justice to your loved one who has passed on, because he left believing that you will take his legacy forward. And what is his legacy here on earth? It's the children that he has left you with. It is you, because he was responsible for you. He will not want to have you suffering. But at times, it's understandable that the frustrations that you will have gone through make you to feel that. But you don't have to give up. You need life. It's a fight. We fight until we pass on in this world. We need to fight. I would like us to go on an ad break. Time is not on our side. When we come back, we'll be rounding off our conversation. And I would like to say thank you very much to all of you who are joining us this afternoon. And thank you. I see they're having a wonderful conversation. People are sharing about their own experiences, because people have gone through this. You may not have gone it yourself, but you have a loved one who has gone through it. And of course, we said, let us be each other's keeper. Let us fix each other's crowns by being there, being part of the six. Let us go on in a break. You are listening to Bold Moves Radio. The show is Prudent Woman with myself. I'm Rhulani Baloyi. We come to you every Sunday at 4 o'clock up until 5 o'clock. This afternoon, of course, I have with me Sophie Tshivengwa, our sister, who is sharing with us her experience of losing a partner, how she went about it. Before we went on a net break, she said a whole lot of things. I will invite you, if you just joined us, please go back and listen to what she was sharing with us, because we are on the last part of our conversation. Time is not on our side, and we always say, as Prudent Woman, we spark conversations. I would like to believe all of you who are listening to us, this has sparked something, because each one of us, surely we will go through this phase. It is appointed unto men to die at some point. So we will all pass on, and we may have loved ones who will pass on before us, and we need to know how to go about the grieving moment and how to move on in life, because you cannot grieve forever. So Sophie shared with us, we're laughing here in the studio, because to have a lawyer saying, you can cry, continue crying, I'm giving you 2 months. And we tend to think they are rude, and it's because they're faced with these things every now and then. And they have to be realistic. You need to cry, but there must be a point when you stop crying, because you cannot cry forever. If you had cried forever, I am very much sure that you will not be here.
You
You will not be
married.
here. And I love our guests here are busy saying, thank you very much for sharing your life. You're speaking
welcome.
from experience, and they are learning a lot, because these are things that we are never prepared about. So it's good to hear someone who has gone through it, just so that at least you have a light. When that time comes, you may pull out a file and say, no, I once heard from Bold Moves Radio, this woman was saying it's okay to cry for 2 months. This woman was saying you need someone who will administer your estate. But say, Sophie, as we round up our conversation this afternoon, I can see you look bright and beautiful. And we thank God for you to have gone through your moment of grief and be able to rise up and still put on such a beautiful smile and a beautiful attire. When I met her this afternoon, she said she was wearing black, like I'm wearing black. And I did not think about it, that we're going to talk about losing a loved one and I'm wearing black. But I thank God because the Holy Spirit spoke to her to say, take off the black, put on a bright color. And she's looking so beautiful this afternoon. But say, Sophie, someone may be wondering, I'm not able to move on because I know all eyes are on me. How did you manage to now move on and be able to be this bright and glamorous woman that you are?
Thank you, Sis Rhulani. Brilliant woman outside there. If you look at people, I'm telling you, they will never give you anything. What they're going to give it to you, it's only the stress and the word of discouragement every day. What I did, I packed my grief and said, Sophie, you've got your own life to live. I joined Mrs. Limpopo last year, the interested part. I joined Mrs. Limpopo. I ran with Mrs. Limpopo until the end. Remember, at our age, 45 and above, being Mrs. Limpopo, believe you me, guys, it brings back my confidence. That's why today I'm so glowing like this. I'm a first princess of Mrs. Limpopo. And again, I didn't stop there because I realized that the more I'm inside my house crying, it's not helping me with anything. I wanted to encourage my kids to say, even if daddy's no more, remember what the Bible says. The Bible says he is the father to the fatherless. He's the husband to the widow. I wanted to prove to my kids, what is the Bible saying about this? I went on and registered my doctorate. And as we speak today, I'm a Dr. Sophie.
Wow.
On my grave period, I decided to register. I'm a doctor in philosophy of business administration. And I'm so happy for that. Because when my kids look at it, they said, but if mommy can do it while crying every day, what about me? So move on, ladies. Don't stay on the same place. You cry, you don't cry, still they're not going to come back. Whether you killed yourself today or not. But remember, when you want to kill yourself, what about those beautiful kids that you brought in this world? Who's going to take care of them? You want these kids to suffer? I don't want to see my kids suffering. That's why I stand up, I dust my everything. I said, Sophie, rise up. Do something. Bath. I'm like Esther woman now. Esther, she was old. But Esther, when she got married, she was so beautiful. When she was chosen, she was something else. It's me today. I'm Esther of this nation. If you want to know more, I'm available.
So stepping out.
Stepping out, girl.
And what I'm getting is being intentional about it, because you were intentional to say, I'm going to register for that doctorate. There's no way you can study, more especially a doctorate, without you taking that decision intentionally.
It was
because
not
no
easy.
One calls you and say, I'm marking a register, you're not in class. It's up to you. You must do your research, meet your targets, do things and submit.
I wanted to prove a point to the kids, to say he said he's the husband to the widow. To the widow. He's giving that strength. He's giving that food that is on the table every day. That's why I did that, just to prove a point to these kids. Yes, and the day of the graduation, all of them, they were like, Mommy, really, you did it? And they're calling your name. I said, yes, and from now on, call me doctor.
We'll also like to say congratulations to Doctor, and I see a lot of our viewers and our listeners saying Congratulations.
Thank you.
You know, it is at a moment where you are going through challenges. When you are resilient, you are able to stand up and have something to celebrate. No
Yeah.
one will ever do it for you.
Yes.
What you did, it's only you who could do it for yourself.
Yes.
And it's only you who can make the word of God be real in your life.
Amen.
Because
Amen.
the word of God is true.
Yes.
But it's upon us to make sure that the word of God become real.
Real.
And I love what you are saying.
Yeah.
To make sure that your children, in the beginning of the show, you were saying, you kept on saying, why God, why me? But you were able to rise up and say, God, I'm going to make sure that your word is real unto me and my family.
Yes.
What a wonderful testimony.
And the other thing that people, they want to, you keep on saying, why must I move on? What is it the Bible saying according to Romans chapter 7? It said, I'm no longer abide with Mushabi's rules.
Yes.
So that's why I remove my ring. Why do I have to put it? Because Mushabi is no more. So now the Bible says I'm free. And people, they're not going to judge me as an adultery. I am free, but not for everyone.
Yes.
Understand that, viewers? Not for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your testimony. But I would like you missed out on one thing.
What is that?
The anointed Trinity.
Oh, yes.
Please share with us that testimony.
Okay. The woman behind Anointed Trinity Creche and Preschool. I'm the vision bearer for Anointed Trinity Creche and Preschool. I started Trinity 2013, if I'm not mistaken. And it was just a baby because I was working at the Department of Education. I was working with a lot of teachers that are molesting the kids and everything. So I started to have that desire for me to help the little ones. You know, it happened. Oh, thank God that one of the men of God talked to me about the fear of unknown. And I tend to realize that, oh, okay, I'm fearing this because if I start, I will fail. So I said, let me go and start something. And I started Anointed Trinity. To God be the glory. That's where I minister every day to those little ones, and they are doing so well. So if guys, Anointed Trinity Christ and a preschool around town, Pulukwani, Mankweng, Venda, please go and register your child, because this is where we teach our children what they must know while they're still young. The Bible says, teach the children in a good way so that when they're old, they will never depart to the word of God, even if they can do something wrong, but they will always remember that there's God and we've been taught.
Wow, what a wonderful woman she is. Such a great testimony. It's not coming from me alone, but I see our viewers and our listeners are saying thank you for sharing your life with us. What a powerful testimony it is. As you bid our listeners and our viewers farewell, just your parting shots, anything that you like to say, which we never got an opportunity to talk about.
I started the ministry for Almana Forum International. It's for the widows and for the orphans. I started with that because I know and I saw that people that are dying outside there. So if you are there and you want more information about Almana, or you want something to encourage you, I'm here. Almana, it helps you to start your own business. Almana, it helps you to move out from your comfort zone. Almana, it will help you to rise up to being that woman that you want to be one day. For the children, the orphans, we want to encourage them that there's still life. Even if you've lost one of the parents, but you can still do better. Because some of the kids, they will say, I did not go to school because my father passed on. What is that? Did your father went with your brain? So why can't you do something better to please that father? And you said, Daddy, look at me. Be proud of me wherever you are. I did it. So women, we are here. If you want to talk to us, not a problem. Rhulani will share my contact. She will be able to communicate with you. If she wants us to keep in touch, you're more than welcome. I can be in touch with you.
Thank you very much, Sophie. It's such a great thing to know that we've got women who are this zealous, wanting to build each other. Thank you very much. We will share contacts on our YouTube channel. If you have not yet subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. We will share them. And if you want to know more about what she was talking about, or you want her to assist you, you are welcome to talk to us through our YouTube channel. Make sure that you subscribe so that you do not miss anything that comes along. And of course, this was Bold Moves Radio. The show was Prudent Woman. We come to you every Sunday, 4 o'clock up until 5 o'clock. You know, when I end this afternoon at 5:30, we have our favorite pastor, Pastor Frida Mategula. She's coming through with the Living Word Outreach Program. And on Tuesday, we've got our wonderful sisters, the pair with a story to tell, the African experience. Have a blessed afternoon. Enjoy the week ahead. Even as I say, thank you to our technical team, DJ Macy, thank you very much, and our executive producer, Pastor Strike. Thank you very much. We shall see you next week, and we are talking to a professional talking to us about how to administer estates and what is it that you need to expect before things happen to you and you are frustrated. And of course, you still need the 6. Go out and make sure that you are part of someone's 6 and make sure that you have a 6 for yourself so that when that time comes, they are there for you. Thank you. Have a blessed week ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is.
Streaming 24/7. 24/7.
Bold Moves Radio.
Bold Moves Radio.
Afrika nakupenda sana, oh Afrika nakupenda sana.